When I think about Chiapas, I picture lush green jungle, rolling mountains, and a deep indigenous presence that still shapes the land. It's the kind of place that makes you wonder how much ancient history is hidden beneath the canopy. This is a state that slowly reveals itself only to those who keep moving through it. And after a year and a half on the road, you'd think there'd be time to explore a place like this properly. But with only days left on my visa, there's no lingering. The goal is simple: follow the road south, reach La Mesilla, and cross into the next chapter of this journey. I was starting to feel exhausted from the seemingly endless riding since I left Meg in Oaxaca City nearly 2 weeks ago. The few roadside stops I took were just enough to keep me moving. A brief pause, a breath, then back on the road. By the end of the day, I reached the capital city of Chiapas. One night only. By morning, I was already pushing south again. The road carried me past Cañon del Sumadero, the walls rising sharply above the river below, a reminder of how small the journey can feel inside a place this vast. Mula and I continued towards San Cristobal de las Casas, where I planned to spend my final days in Mexico. The mountains grew taller, the views wider, the land unfolding with every curve, and when traffic slowed more than I was willing to accept, I twisted the throttle and slipped past a military truck, because a motorcycle traveler from Canada was the least of their concerns. Finally, I arrived to San Cristobal de las Casas, a colorful city in the mountains that doesn't just welcome you, it absorbs you. Set high in the Chiapas highlands, at over 2,200 meters, fog drifts through its cobblestone streets like a slow-moving tide, revealing bright facades, quiet plazas, and a rhythm older than the stones beneath your feet. It's one of Mexico's most iconic destinations: vibrant indigenous markets, hand-woven textiles, colonial architecture, and mountain air that makes everything feel sharper, calmer, and almost sacred. I plan to spend my remaining days in Mexico in this colorful town and get some much-needed rest before crossing into Guatemala. I'm here in San Cristobal de las Casas and just exploring Centro today, and it's a very beautiful city, very colorful, cultural, lots of viewpoints everywhere. And I didn't actually buy anything yet, but I just got some footage of the architecture and some buildings and stuff like that. Kind of heading back home now, but there's one mural I really wanted to capture on the way back. Somebody was just standing there when I wanted to record it earlier, and it's a really good reflection of what's going on in Chiapas with the Coca-Cola company basically stealing all their water for their product. So I'll show you that mural. Okay, we're ready to go. Adios! We're out of here. Alright guys, I made it to La Mesilla. I'm at the border, literally like the immigration offices are just across the street. So I'm staying at this hotel that I found on Google Maps, but anyways, it's freaking hectic right now, man. Shit is going down. Let me see if I can. First of all, it's super windy out. Super windy. I don't know if you can see that. Super windy out. The power keeps flickering on and off. But there's like so much police activity on the street right now. They got a couple trucks pulled over. I was told to put my phone away because it looked like I was recording, and I was told that there's a conflict right now between the Border Patrol and the Mafia de Guatemala. So crazy, because I chose this border because I was told it was the safest, quietest, and yeah, the day I'm staying in this hotel at the border, there's shit going down. So hopefully it gets resolved and tomorrow is quiet and easy and smooth, but yeah, not off to a great start, that's for sure.
I had no idea what was happening at the time, but later found out just as I was checking into my hotel at the border. A massive shootout between the Mexican police and the Guatemalan mafia unfolded, leaving 4 dead and both countries on heightened military alert. I didn't know it at the time, but this was about to massively impact tomorrow's travel day.
Good morning, everyone. It is about 9, almost 10 o'clock, almost 10 a.m. And today is the day we do the border run. We cross the border to Guatemala. We are at La Mesilla, and I stayed at this hotel right across the street. Really, really nice, convenient, but you can see just walking over here, you can already see kind of, well, the border starts, not that great with this camera because it's got a wide angle lens, but yeah, the borders, the Vanercito and the Aduana and all that immigration is just across the street. I'm gonna go over there, stamp out of the country, ride 4 kilometers to the border, and get my documents, cross into Guatemala. And today I'm heading to Huehuetenango, which is the first major city, I think, after the border. It's about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours actually. But yeah, this was my place. Nice big bathroom, comfy bed, AC, a desk with no chair, which was kind of annoying, and a TV with Netflix, which was cool. I had to set it up though. But yeah, first international border crossing that isn't America and Mexico since I started this trip. So exciting day, really, really exciting day. All right, everything's done. Stamped out of the country, canceled my tip, stamped my passport. Now it's time to ride to the border. Something's going on. Some guy just told me to turn around, and I don't know what he's saying. ¿Todo bien? I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm a little bit sketched out based on the events of yesterday. Police block. ¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué dice, amigo? No hay paso.
¿Por qué?
Hubo una matanza.
Matanza.
Mataron gente.
Aye. Alright, we're officially cooked. We cannot cross the border of La Mesilla. And I guess the only thing I can do now is ride to the next border, because I could stay here one more night, but most likely it's gonna be closed tomorrow as well.
I chose La Mesilla because literally every other traveler recommended it as the easiest and safest border crossing. But on my date of arrival, it would become one of the most deadly borders in the entire country in that moment. With the border fully closed and no idea when it would be open again, I had no option but to head 2 hours east to the next closest border and pray I could get sorted there. I made the decision to remove my GoPro after reading my intended route had a high probability of encountering a narco checkpoint. And for my own safety, I removed the camera to avoid unnecessary questions.
Okay, so I'm like 10 minutes from the border. I'm not recording with my GoPro because I'm expecting to run into narcos, and you don't want to have a camera on you when you see them. But this is the road to the border apparently. I don't know how I ended up on this road, but it's just this gravel off-road section to get to this little town by the border. Anyways, I gotta get going.
Fortunately, I had some good luck that day and did not encounter that specific narco checkpoint. What I did encounter was the most unofficial border crossing of my life.
Well, welcome to Guatemala, guys. Alright, welcome to Guatemala. We made it past a really fucked border. I mean, very unofficial. Very quiet. But it was, yeah. I'm illegally in the country now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I crossed at Carmenzan, and not a single government office was in sight. Nothing to obtain my documents. No police, no military. Not only was I just illegal in Mexico, but now I was also illegal in Guatemala. With my brain in limbo about what to do, I made the decision to just head to my booked accommodation in Huehuetenango. However, to get to the city, the fastest route was to ride all the way back west before heading south. This would take me to La Mesilla, where I had just ridden from 2 hours ago. With that in mind, I decided to just ride to the border on the Guatemalan side to test my luck and see if it was truly closed or if I could get my documents.
Holy shit, guys, we're in Guatemala. I got my documents. That was a huge fuck around day for sure. And just as I was gonna leave, I still had 2 hours to make it to fucking Huehuetenango. As soon as I was about to leave, the fucking wet season kicked in. The torrential downpour came, so I said, fuck that. I'm not riding. Because I realized something, my GPS has no idea what the fuck, how to navigate Guatemala. I have to download Guatemalan maps, and my Google Maps does not work in the rain. As soon as it gets a drop of rain, I can't use the phone, and the fucking maps goes all over the place. It stops directing. It's just, I would be miserable. Anyways, we got a hotel for 75 Quetzal tonight, so this is where we'll be staying, at the border city again. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Guatemala, to La Mesilla. Last night was probably one of the worst travel days of my entire life, but we got through it, and I mean, you saw what happened. I wasn't the best at recording everything, but I kind of got some snippets here and there so you could kind of see the whole experience. So yeah, we're legally in Guatemala now. Got my documents, bike's legal. Some serious military activity going on the border right now. Choppers keep flying over, but today I have my accommodation was kind of rebooked for like a $5 extra fee, and I can go to Huehuetenango today, so that's the plan. It's not even 10 yet, so I'm gonna get on the road. It's like 9:30. Get there for like 11:30. It's like 2 hour ride, and then we'll be back on track for this trip. But yeah, what a wild, crazy day yesterday was. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to a proper city in Guatemala. Buenos días. Muchas gracias por todo. Que tengas un buen día. Alright guys, here we are in La Mesilla, Guatemala. You can see there's tuk-tuks literally everywhere in Guatemala. It's a very, very important means of transport for the locals here. Also a lot of street dogs. Lots and lots of street dogs.
So we made it to Guatemala. We're officially in Central America, in country number 3 for Mula and I on this trip. The first thing I noticed was just how lush green and mountainous the landscape was. It was like an extension of Chiapas. It looks like Mexico, but it didn't feel like Mexico. There was a distinct difference about it. Perhaps it was the change in traditional attire, or the vast amount of tuk-tuks, or maybe how the taco stands had been replaced by fried chicken, or perhaps it was the lack of major highways, as the Pan American seemed to be the primary route moving through this country. But one thing was for sure, the skies were clear and the sun was shining. I felt all the events of the last 24 hours were behind me and I could now enjoy a smooth sailing to Huehuetenango. But never count your chickens before they hatch.
Buenas. ¿Qué pasa?
Hay tapada.
Hay tapada.
Sí.
Mm,
No paso ni aquí ni arriba. O sea,
¿Es
no hay
peligroso?
paso aquí. No. Aquí taparon y allá arriba está tapado también.
¿Sabes cuánto tiempo?
No se sabe.
¿No?
No.
Oh.
Puede ser que destapen ahorita, o sea, hasta la tarde.
No hay posibilidad de pasar.
No. No hay. Esperar.
Es como protest.
Es que exactamente.
Ah.
Ajá. Protestando también.
So another roadblock. I couldn't believe it. In over a year and a half traveling to 17 states in Mexico, I never once encountered a protest. And on my first day in Guatemala, I'm greeted with one. I knew the best thing to do was to just keep a positive attitude and make the best of the situation.
So I'm stuck at this roadblock, this protest right before, like an hour before I'm trying to get to today, and they said there's no possibility of me passing, and this roadblock could be here till 5 p.m. today, so that's like 7 hours. So I don't know what to do. Guatemala has not been nice to me since I've been here, so I guess I wait it out, but then there's a chance that I get caught in the wet season rains again, so I don't really know what to do. They said it's today and tomorrow, so I don't know what to do. But yeah, really unfortunate. This guy's selling ceviche. 15 quetzal. Qué bueno.
Bueno,
Muchas gracias.
esto le bueno, gracias.
Okay. Got my ceviche. Some guy just came up and gave me one of these and a cookie. That guy right there.
Lucky for me, the roadblock opened ahead of schedule and I only had to wait a mere 3 hours. Everyone was eager to get going and the massive convoy of restless drivers ensued. But first, another brief roadblock while we wait for some construction, which made this initial takeoff feel very lackluster. But finally, I could feel that fresh breeze pass through my helmet as I gunned it for Huehuetenango, praying for no more roadblocks.
Hello. Alright guys, we just arrived to our accommodation. Up on this steep hill in the city of Huehuetenango. And the lady next door who gave me the keys, super lovely. There's a little dog. This is a view from up here. And I was just down there. Wow.
¿Nos deja?
Sí, me voy ahora. Lago de Atitlan.
Ah, pero ya no regresa aquí.
No,
Ya no.
continuar sud.
¿Para dónde?
Algún día, Argentina. Argentina en mi moto.
Today was finally the day. I hoped for no more roadblocks and traveled along the Pan American Highway for about 3 hours before taking one of the very steep and narrow side roads exiting the highway and descending into the lake.
One of the ways to get to Lake Atitlan. Very steep descent to the lake. Okay, I guess this is the road. Super steep. The brake check, we're all good. And down we go. This may be, it's up there with the steepest roads I've done, that's for sure. But it is a big descent to get to the lake. So, yeah, wow. Just gotta make sure that these brakes work good. At least it's a winding road and not just a complete steep drop. All right. Woo! Esa es.
Descending into Lake Atitlan is a unique experience. The road drops fast, steep, narrow, and endlessly winding, pulling you down through layers of green. Each turn reveals something new. Terraced farmlands clinging to the hillsides, cornfields bending in the wind, and small indigenous villages tucked quietly along the route. Life moves slower here. Smoke rises from cooking fires, dogs nap in the shade, and the sound of the engine fades into the mountains. With every switchback, the air changes, and you can feel that you're heading somewhere special. I hope you're enjoying following along the journey. If you are, let me know what you want to see more of in the comments, or less, as I'm always striving to make better and better videos. And as always, I truly appreciate your support. I rode through the city of Solola, observing the local riders and how they operate. After almost 45 minutes of descending, I finally got my first peek at the world's steepest lake, Lago de Atitlan. Situated high in the Guatemalan highlands, formed more than 80,000 years ago by a massive volcanic eruption that collapsed into what is now a deep caldera. Today, the lake is framed by 3 volcanoes, Atitlan, Daliman, and San Pedro, each shaping the climate, agriculture, and daily life of the communities along its shores. For centuries, the lake has been home to the Maya people, long before the Spanish arrived, serving as a trade route, a food source, and a spiritual center. Even now, many villages around the lake maintain their own traditions, languages, and clothing, each one distinct from the next. As I ride towards Panajachel, I'm not just heading to a town, I'm entering a place shaped by fire, water, and thousands of years of history. Before I meet up with Meg, who is now on the other side of the lake, I decided to spend a few days exploring Panajachel. My Airbnb told me to park my bike in this narrow alleyway, and that's exactly what I did. I stored it there for 3 days, And that's where this video ends. Tune in next week to see exactly how I spent 1 month living in Guatemala. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, feel free to support the channel by leaving a comment what you enjoyed the most. And of course, subscribing to the channel is the best way to motivate me to keep going. Until next week, have a great one.
Bike. I'll go closer to the wall. That's not too bad. That's out of the way. Gonna need new rear tire really soon. Okay, take this helmet off and get sorted.